Good evening, friends, and welcome to a very exciting session here. And as we speak in today's session, we'll be talking about how the Cockroach Janta Party is really pushing the limit right now because they're testing the patience of the government. Also, who could be the next target in the NDA government? Could it be Gadkari? Could it be Amit Shah? Could it be someone else who the Cockroach Janta Party is targeting? So make sure you watch the video till the end. So coming to what let us start off with this very interesting, uh, very interesting slide. So this Rennie Lynn, she's a US author, and she has clearly pointed out that it is, why one of the reasons why they targeted Dharmendra Pradhan is not because of the NEET paper leaks, but because he made a lot of changes in the NCERT textbooks which had glorified Mughals, and he had changed all those portions in the textbook. And this is also one of the reasons why he was targeted by the Islamic lobby. Mainly, many Islamic countries were very upset about this, and so they, along with many others, funded this whole CJP movement. This is a very big point that no one is talking, no mainstream media is talking, friends. And we on Candid Meena, we have exposed this. So this is also a very big, reason why everyone joined hands, whether it is the elements from, anti-national jihadi elements, or from the outside George Soros sponsored parties. So all of them join hands to somehow they have one intention, and that is to somehow bring down the Modi government and put them in their knees. So for that, what happened is, as we all know, Dharmendra Pradhan resigned as the education minister, and Prahlad Joshi became the education minister, as all of you know. Now, also, I would like to show you this. This is a huge party in a five-star hotel, and you can see the CJP person here, the CJP guy here. He is enjoying his way. So now, very interestingly, the Supreme Court advocate Mahesh Jetlamani has questioned who is funding this party. Who is funding this party scene here for the CJP? This is in a five-star hotel, and they are celebrating the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan. So the spokesperson of the CJP, he is celebrating in a five-star hotel with so many people, nearly 30-40 people inside this room. So who is footing the bill for this? Welcome Leena, welcome Jitendra. So now Jetlamani has asked the rightful question: who funded this hotel celebration where you see the CJP leader dancing? Now also Saurav Das, the CJP spokesperson, and Ashutosh Ranka were seen dancing to Bollywood songs in this hotel celebration. And who funded the travel, food, accommodation, equipment and logistics throughout the agitation is what Mahesh Jetlamani has asked. And this is, very, you can see that, like we have discussed on Candid Meena, that the Bollywood actress, a very important Bollywood actress, had exposed that all the celebrities, all the key actors and actresses, they were offered lakhs and lakhs of money just for posting one positive post about the CJP protest. So, and also point number 2, the protesters were offered free food, and it was paid by someone from the countries outside, like so, especially from Saudi Arabia and other countries. So who was footing the bill? So all this, what is Modi, Amit Shah, and Ajit Doval doing? Are they, silently building a case because they need proof to build a case against the Cockroach Janta Party? So right now they are acting very submissive. I must use the word submissive as of now, as far as the Modi government is concerned, because the Cockroach Janta Party is not even registered political party in India, and some guy called Abhijit Dipke, who we don't know what he was doing in the US. He was some university student, and how does he form a political party? He gets millions of followers. So who is funding him? It is funding from George Soros Foundation Party, and he is another version supported by AAP and Congress. So also we can see this, friends, and this is very important tweet. Mahua Moitra says, Mughal history erase करने का चक्कर में प्रधान जी खुद ही erase हो गए. So you can see that this is proof that he was targeted for deleting or modifying the sections in the NCERT textbook in CBSE schools which contained or which glorified Mughal history. So this is proof enough, and we can show you another thing is that Dhruv Rathi lives in Germany, Abhijit Dipke lives in the US, and Takla Arpit Sharma, he lives in Australia. They live abroad, you risk your future. They want Indian students to leave studies, join riots, and protest and put their future at risk. So you can see how these players, it is the same toolkit. They behave in a similar fashion, and all those people who protested, around 60 to 70% of them are hired goons from other countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, and they were stone pelting the innocent policemen and police women, and even some journalists were also manhandled, as all of you know from Times Now and all those things. But right now, Delhi police is rounding them up. They have the advanced facial recognition software, and they have made a lot of arrests. And many, more than 200, 300 people, they have criminal backgrounds. Those who protested had criminal backgrounds. So, who encouraged them to get together, right? So, all these political parties, they have hired goons to protest, and many of them are about the age of 30, many of them are about the age of 40, and to my knowledge there were hardly any legitimate NEET students in that protest. Now what is the funny thing is that Swedish activist Greta Thunberg has praised the student protest in India and stated that the movement has shown the true meaning of people's power. She joined the rally in London's Trafalgar Square. Greta showed solidarity with the Indian youth, so-called Indian youth. So you can see now Greta Thunberg has supported this Cockroach Janta Party and the movement. So now you can see how the dots connect. She, always supports anything which is anti-government or anti-establishment of any country, and now she has, selected India. So this is how, when you have Modi ji and a very strong NDA government at the center, and they are really, Indian economy is doing very well if you compare it to other countries like the US and other countries, especially when you have the US-Iran war and the Strait of Hormuz being closed and all the things. So right now they don't like to see India become very strong. So how do they destabilize? How does the deep state destabilize India? So it is through all these fake narratives and making such floating such outfits and parties and putting them on the streets, and this is the same modus operandi and toolkit which is now taking place. Welcome, Dhanashri. It is painful to watch our Prime Minister, police, and CRPF were targeted by these protesters. Plus, in one of the video on Instagram, his hands were shaking. Yes, this is. I'm sure that Amit Shah and Modi, they do have a plan in mind, which we are not aware of. Of course, they don't like to keep inform the media, of course. So Greta has to do with these cockroaches. Their school dropout tells importance of education. Yes. So the right now the focus for the NDA government is to pass these bills like the FCRA bill, the delimitation bill, the Uniform Civil Code bill, and all those bills they have to pass. But the opposition party is not letting them function. Even in today's session, they were, protesting and all those things inside the parliament, and they were not letting the parliament function. So this is the game plan which, Congress, Rahul Gandhi, and all the opposition parties they have in mind. Now, also, friends, I would like to inform you that following the CJP campaign, a new party called E20 Janta Party has emerged, demanding that motorists and car vehicles and bike vehicles be given the option to buy 100% petrol alongside E20 ethanol blended fuel. The group says it's not seeking to end the government's ethanol blending program, but wants consumers to have the freedom to choose the type of fuel they use. The campaign argues that many vehicle owners are concerned about the long-term impact of E20 fuel on mileage, maintenance cost, and compatibility with older vehicles. So they are holding, in addition to the demand for fuel choice, the movement also called for the resignation of Nitin Gadkari, holding him politically accountable for the nationwide rollout of E20 fuel. So supporters of this campaign describe it as a consumer rights movement rather than a political party. For right now, you can see another outfit called this E20 Janta Party. So what does this say? They want Nitin Gadkari out because they want to be given the option of petrol. Apart from the E20 blended fuel, they want the full petrol option. And this is what, if you look at this, friends, that what does this say? It is, saying that the OPEC countries are behind this particular movement, right? The oil lobby, because they, all these countries will lose a huge market in India, and that is why they are so afraid, and that is why they are funding this particular outfit, and they want the removal of Nitin Gadkari. So you can see how things work, and how things are being put in play. So in fact, some of the cockroaches treatment is much needed than Behgon, says Dhanashri. So now, friends, also the center has maintained that ethanol blending program helps reduce crude oil imports, improve energy security, support farmers, and lower emissions. It also stated that there is currently no proposal to increase ethanol blending beyond 20%, while premium petrol sold by the state retailers continue to remain ethanol free. So you can see that reducing the crude oil imports and improving the energy security of India, these 2 points is the reason why this particular E20 Janta Party is being, they are so concerned and they want to maybe protest, right? So they could be next. So now you can see, friends, that the political parties like the Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party, the CIA, the ISI, the Chinese Communist Party, all of them are getting together, friends, and they will pick a particular sort of cause. Okay, for example, now they can even pick the case of unemployment in India, and they will ask Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to resign because people are not, the youngsters are not finding jobs after graduating out of colleges. So this could also be another movement. So this is how they are trying to somehow unsettle Modi ji and somehow creates a lot of anarchy. That is how the modus operandi is happening, and many people are getting angry at the way things are happening in India, and that the NDA is being very, very submissive and very, very passive in its approach, right? So, in spite of having a lot of power in the center, it looks like they are in opposition, I would say, right? So, what is quite interesting is that now the Cockroach Janta Party has warned of another protest as early as tomorrow if there's a breach of agreement with regards to no police action against the protesters. Now they said that the NDA has to make sure that all the FIRs against the protesters have to be immediately withdrawn, and students have to be released, and no future FIRs has to be filed, or else they will start sitting on the protest again. That is what Ashutosh Ranka, the CJP spokesperson, has mentioned on X. And the central government has mentioned that no action will be taken on peaceful protesters. So this is the what is happening. And the Supreme Court said the police excesses or a lathi charge cannot be justified merely because there's an agitation, observing that the right to peaceful protest is absolutely guaranteed. So now what is happening is that they are saying that the Cockroach Janta Party is saying that all the protesters, they have to be released and all the FIRs have to be withdrawn. So what about the the violent goons who hurled stones at the police, the RAF personnel, and many journalists who were injured? What about them, right? So does the Cockroach Janta Party want the violent protesters to be released, right? So you can see that how this CJP is just another B version of the Aam Aadmi Party of Kejriwal. I think Abhijit Deepke has left India, yes, and even if he has left India, a lot of CJP people are there in India, right? The likes of Saurav and this guy Ashutosh Ranka. So they will carry on the protest, right? Even without Abhijit Deepke. Abhijit Deepke may join online from US or anywhere he's running off to. That is the whole game plan. So now Kangana Ranaut, the BJP MP and actress, has openly, she has admitted that the kind of Gen Z protesters who insulted Modi and who are puke inducing, the way they speak, the kind of language they are using, never in my life have I seen everything in each and every frame so jarring and so crass at all once. And she said, who is raising them? What kind of upbringing they have? All these people and the so-called Gen Z protesters who protested in the CJP. And we saw a lot of reels in which all these young Gen Z protesters, the so-called Gen Z protesters, I must say, who abused Modi's mother, and all those horrible, shocking things, right? So will action be taken because they produced videos and they were using very foul language, threatening heads of state. So will action be taken against them? Action has to be taken, in my opinion. This is not at all acceptable. And Kangana Ranaut has rightfully pointed out. But my question is, what is Modi ji and Amit Shah? What is the next game plan, right? And we'll have to wait and watch. And yes, so welcome, Smita. There are such hideous videos on the news channels, girls using such filthy language, shameful and disgusting. Yes, Smita ji, and you can make out from that that language and everything. They are implants. They are fake actors. They are not actual NEET students who, actual NEET students. They study and work hard and they pass the exams. They don't have time for all this bullshit, right? Which is happening on road. And this was definitely not about students. Yes, Mitaji. So you can see that also I would like to add one more point before we conclude is that many protesters, so-called protesters, were actually content creators on Instagram. They wanted to shoot videos and reels when the protests were going on, and some of them had hit millions of followers from hundreds of followers within a span of 1 or 2 days. So there were a lot of opportunists also in terms of content creators who wanted to expand their follower base and expand their virality of the videos and all those things. So many people had their own agendas for using this movement. What job or business Abhijit Deepke is doing in USA? How is he managing the state hotel in India? Yes, this is all heavily funded from the deep state, and I'm quite surprised that ED or other agencies, the NIA is not probing on the CJP leaders like Abhijit Deepke and all the spokesperson as to where the funding is coming from. They have to do it as soon as possible, right? Because now, before the Independence Day, right, when Modi ji is going to give a speech in Independence Day, there are a lot of rumors that they want to have another sort of agitation and protest in such a way that which will halt or stop this Independence Day celebration. So that is also the rumors are going around. So you can see how far fetched this cockroach Janta party is planning into. So that's all the news for today, friends, and we'll see you tomorrow. And please make sure to hit the like button and share button with your friends. And Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.